because I'm not a massive fan of the colour. Unless I put it on and it's like, oh my god, your eyes pop, then I'll keep it. Hello. Welcome to my channel. I'm trying to stop him from biting me. My name is Kelly, also known as Raw on Kids. This is Dax, also known as the Ginger Terror. Stop it! Sit there, be a good boy. This is a knitting and designing podcast where I talk about everything I've been knitting and designing for the last 2 weeks. And this is episode 64. Welcome, welcome. I think we immediately need to talk about what I'm wearing because I'm getting quite warm. If you hear any kitten noise, I apologise. If there's nothing I can do, he is a part of the set. Because you know. Yeah, so what I'm wearing. So last time you see me, I said I was going to do a blocking party. And I did do a blocking party. I was sulking the whole time, did not enjoy the blocking party, but I did it. We had a sunny day. Oh my god, this kitten is on one. Do you want to just watch what you're doing? We had a sunny day. And I was like, right, I'm going to go make the most of it and I'm just going to get this done. Get it over and done with. And the results are here. So first up, because I'm absolutely sweltering, is the Geogradient. It is finished. It probably could do with another block because that's curling. But yeah, it's done. It's quite big. Not as big as I expected. Oh, I do need to point out one other thing. If you hear other background noise, my youngest is off school, Pooley, so he is kicking around as well, so just in case you hear that. Yeah, so I think it might be Fran from Franny Do said to me that the tassels actually do pull that edge down because it curls. You can see it curling in the middle there. And if you put the tassels on, it does actually pull them down. I'd said that I was not doing the tassels. But I'm kind of feeling like maybe I should do the tassels. I think the tassels look great. I love the little tassels going all the way along. Just the thought of doing them is like, do you know what I mean? Like, really? Can I hire somebody to do tassels? I mean, they go every time there's a blue triangle. And there's a lot. So I don't know. But I think I should. And so I'm... Right, at the minute it's done. It's finished, I'm done. But I might have to revisit it. We'll see. Geogradient is by Stephen West. If you don't know what it is, where on earth have you been? Because there was absolute uproar over it at the last MCAL in October last year. The whole Central Square debacle and everything else. I'm not going to go into any of that. If you want to find out, just do a Google. If you don't know, because honestly, yeah, it was huge in the knitting world. It is an absolute, like, it is one of the worst things I've ever knitted. It's the most boring thing. Please don't attack my knitwear. No, get your claws out of that. Oh my god, we're gonna fall out. Go sleep. Go sleep. No, go to sleep. We should have it like a and sleep. I need to be like Darren Brown or something. Anyway, yeah, it's horrible to knit. I do not recommend it. Like, the pattern it's a Stephen West pattern. It's well written, it's well explained. There is video accompaniments, the whole shebang, everything, yeah, great. it's just incredibly boring. Yeah, I didn't do the I thought that'd stop recording then. I didn't do the concentric square that is now the start of the pattern. I was going to say clue number 1, but it's not in clues anymore. So the start of the pattern is the concentric square. Kind of wish I did. I actually did 4 triangles and pieced them together. I did knit them together. They weren't sewn together. It's a bit of a tatty mess. I was kind of anger knitting at that point. I'd like it, but I do wish I'd done the concentric square because I find that it looks mesmerising. But yeah, it's basically you do one half, then you've got to go and do it again on the other side, then you do the other side, and then you've got to go and do it again on the other side, and then you do this whole fringe along the bottom, and it's just like, I don't know, and I do believe that it should have been a triangle, and it's not, and I know a few people are with me on that, so yeah, but it's done. I've finished it. I will wear it. It is nice and thick and cosy. Down to my yarn choice, I used drops. It's all drops. I think it's either, sorry about hiccups, 3 floras and 1 nod, or 3 nods and 1 flora. I can't remember. But yeah, it's just all the blues of drops. Well, not all the blues, but 4 of the blues of drops. I know there's ice in there. There's denim. I can't remember. There is a point as well where it's got a bit of mohair in that I had some left over, but I have no idea where that is. So I don't know, I can't even show you it. So yeah, it's done. I finally finished my Geogradient. It was a big relief. There is a reason behind all of these whips becoming FOs, by the way, and that is because I run a Crack the Whip Cal in my Patreon, and the Patreon's all joined in, and a lot of us got a lot of whips cleared in the month of June, which was brilliant. Mackenzie, hello Mackenzie, she was our ultimate star in the fact that she finished 6 projects in the month. I did 5, I think Jess did 5, possibly somebody else did 5, but there was a lot really close to the bone as well. There was like a lot of people got whips cleared, so it was great. We're definitely going to do that again. Yeah, it kind of really got me in gear. It did, turned me up a notch. Right, next in this blistering heat that is not the British weather, it is just that it's kind of warm. With all these on, I mean. It's kind of warm with all these on. Not kind of warm outside. It's rubbish. Next is Pim Pom Shawl. So, if you are a regular viewer, you will know that I have been umming and ahhing about Pim Pom for some time. Because I did my main colour out of one skein of Yarnsmiths Pebble Haze DK Sanditon, I want to say, Sanditon colourway. That stops at the bobbles. I had a tiny little scrap left. If it's called Sanditon, this colourway actually starts to go white at the end, and you can kind of see it coming in. But the pattern ended before I got to the white, so I thought putting white here would be good. Didn't like it, so then I did blue bubbles and then tried white scallops. Didn't like that, so I ended up buying a ball of Yarnsmiths Pebble Haze DK just in solid, and I don't know if it's got a colourway name. I will put it on the screen if it does, but it's basically the blue. And I did the scalloped edges in that. So you can see they are, yeah. They are all done separately as short rows, so you do one, cast it off, go to the next one, do that, cast it off, go to the next one, until you get to the end. So the ending of the shawl is kind of a bit like, ugh, because you've got all these bubbles to do. I'm always like that, aren't I? Ugh. I do like knitting, honestly. You kind of do all the bubbles and then you've got to do all the scallops, but it kind of, once I got to a certain point of the scallops and I got the pattern in my head, then it went fast and I just knocked it out. So yeah, I am happy with the finish. However, I like to wear a shawl like this, and this isn't quite long enough. Like, it's gonna keep coming off. So, and yeah, I know I've got another shawl underneath, but honestly, this is what it does. It's not quite long enough, so that's a strange one. And now there's no way on this earth I'm gonna wear it around here, which is how I've just had it on. That's just not me. Like, no offense to anybody who does wear it like that, but that is just not me. So I don't know what's going to happen with it. I will wear it. I love it. Mostly down to the yarn. I think the yarn is so pretty, and I just love. Like, at first I was concerned about this yellow section, but now seeing the grey there and then the blue, I just think it all ties together, and I just really like how it turned out. Yeah. So yeah, it's just not very wide, and I did the bigger one. This is the bigger one. It's not the, because I think there's a small version, but it's like aimed at a child maybe. I don't actually know. I'm gonna have some tea. My next finished object. Okay, so if you've watched me from way back when, you will remember this. If you were quite new, you will have no idea that I knitted this. I think I knitted it, hang on, 3 years ago, coming up, 2.5, it'll be 3 years at Christmas. And it's basically been bundled in a heap in my cupboard waiting to be blocked and ends weaved in, because I'm a bad person. But it's my Find Your Fade, and do you know what makes that whole situation worse is that I absolutely love it. Like, the yarn is just French kiss. So this is my Find Your Fade. It is just all beautiful rainbows. Now this was sitting in my cupboard for ages, and I blocked it. I hung it on my washing line because it is huge, and oh, I can tell the difference when that's off. But it looks really creased again. I feel like it's going to have to be blocked, because you see, look at them creases. And it's been folded up and in my room waiting to show you guys, but look at how creased it is. I don't want to block it again. It's way too big to block again. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there, but I still love it. I'll probably just wear it. I've weaved all the ends in now. I don't even know if I'm showing you the right side. Where's some ends? I think I'm showing you the wrong side. Oh no, there's an end. Right. So this is Find Your Fade by Andrea Mowry. It is gigantic. Oh, it's so creased, I'm annoyed. But it's beautiful. It starts this end and transitions up to here. I won Orchidean's Advent. So Orchidean yarn, I won her Advent. It'll be 3 years this Christmas, and it was this absolutely stunningly bright coloured Advent, and I had COVID at the time, and I just sat and all I did was knit on this and put a colour in every day. I do still have some colours left over. I didn't get all the colours in. I think it transitioned into blue and then a bit of purple at the end. I I think I just knitted until I practically ran out of each colour. I think that's how I did it. I can't actually remember. And there were 20 grams, or was it 10? There must have been 10. I can't remember. It's a long time ago. But I finished it and then I just dumped it in my cupboard. So I'm really glad that I've got this done. This will get somewhere because I really love it. It's just so pretty. And that's no offence to Andrea Mowry, but that's not because of the pattern, it's because of the yarn. Like, I think you can have a pretty find your fade and you could have an ugly find your fade. It totally depends on the yarn that you use, because it's just a very simple pattern. It's just a kite shawl. There's nothing really much going on. There's a couple of violets every now and again. But the yarn just absolutely like takes it and carries it into the marvellous. Yeah, so that is my find your fade. I'm going to fold it up and leave it off because it is actually quite warm wearing it. But yeah, I'm upset that it's creased again. I don't know why it's got creased again. And I really don't know why I left it so long to do. I think because it's huge. It's not the easiest thing to block, is it? Like, you need some extreme space, and I don't have extreme space. So you can see there. Finally, my polka cats is done. Ta-da! Yeah, I'm not going to stand up and show you. I will pop a picture up and do all that shenanigans and show you it in full. But yes, I really love it now it's blocked. We have been through a traumatic period of time together, me and the polka cats. It is not the easiest pattern to navigate. But I think it's worth the effort. Because I just love it. I love it. I love the rainbow. I'm really getting into rainbows. I love the rainbow, and I'm really glad I went with this like beige rather than cream. I originally said I wanted cream. I'm really glad I went with beige. I think if it was cream I would never wear it because I would just spill gravy down the front. Whereas now it's beige, I probably won't spill anything on it. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. I don't know why, but I know. Yeah, it's just like, I love how it turned out. I have changed things. There's a lot of people who've seen this now in a reel that I've done and some shorts on YouTube that I've done, a reel on Instagram, shorts on YouTube. And there's a lot of people on the Instagram one in particular, there was people saying, oh, I really want to knit that now, I really want to knit that now. Just be aware, you have no stitch counts from the minute you separate for the sleeves. Even when you separate, you have no stitch counts. So if your markers are in the wrong place, you're making a teapot cozy or something. Like, it's literally, a lot of it is knitting blind. If you are going to knit it, my advice is 100% when you like remove sections to start a section, so like you split off the sleeves and you start the body, just make sure that your cats are going to line up before you start knitting. Just work your way around and make sure your cats are going to line up, because otherwise you'll be trying to get rid of stitches or adding stitches. The sleeves, not so much. I didn't, because you decrease in underarm anyway. She has the charts as if your cats should continuously line up while you're decreasing. I was at the point where I could not be bothered to calculate that. I had no idea how many stitches I was supposed to have. You can probably sit and calculate it, but that is not what I want to be doing while I'm knitting something. And half the time I'm like busy watching something on the telly, and I don't want to pause the telly to sit and get my calculator out to work out how many stitches the pattern should tell me. The pattern should tell me how many stitches I should have, and it should do all that work for me. I should not have to work to do a pattern. That is my biggest bugbear in a pattern, when they go and do that math, and then when you come back, It's like, no, you do the maths and I'll sit here and knit the thing. I don't like that. So as a result, I don't care, but as a result, my cats don't line up under the arm. They're a bit malnourished and a bit two-headed and things, crazy face. I don't care. I don't care. If I'm stood like this and someone goes, oh, them cats are a bit weird, I'd be like, get away from my armpit. Do you know what I mean? No. So make sure your cats are lined up. I also changed the bottom and the neck and the sleeves in the fact that so the bottom hem is a folded hem, but mine was flaring like massively. So I've got rib. I've got a shirt on underneath. You're all right. I'm not flashing you. So yeah, I changed mine to rib. As a result, this is also supposed to be folded, so I did a rib. It's also huge, but the rib really pulled it into just, it's a nice width for me. If you wanted it tighter, you what's this doing? If you wanted a tighter neckline, you're gonna have to faff. Sorry. The sleeves, I also did rib on the sleeves instead of the folded hem. Like obviously I wanted it all to match up, so I wasn't going to do folded hems, but I also think it just wouldn't work for me at all. I don't know. I also made my sleeves longer. I think they should stop around here, but I didn't like the look of that on me. So I knitted longer and just decreased a couple more times and then did them. So I've got like just past my elbow, which is what, well, my elbow is this side, but yeah, my ranunculus hangs about there and I like that. So they're good for me. It's what I wanted. You do you. You can do long sleeves in the pattern. It's long sleeves or short sleeves, but the short sleeves are longer than I first assumed, if that makes sense, in the pattern. So I just went longer again and met in the middle. So those are my changes. There is notes on my Ravelry page if you want to look at some of the other errors that I picked up. However, I have said this before, like I'd said like the stitch counts were wrong in some parts, but I don't hugely concentrate when I'm knitting somebody else's pattern. I don't, like I do, I follow the pattern, but I don't tend to like, I don't know how to word it, like I concentrate, but I'm not like properly in depth and like counting everything and making sure everything's spot on. I don't do that. I wing a lot of it. So like if my stitch count is wrong, I'll pick up a stitch somewhere or I'll get rid of one somewhere, like where it's discreet. So there's a possibility that my stitch count was incorrect when I got to the point where you have to, because right, so you cast on but it's flat and you work the back and then you join it together, and you have to cast on this to join them together so that you've got, it's kind of like the short rows in the back, but she's done it as you knit it flat and then you join it. And when I cast on her number of stitches here, my cats didn't line up with the rest as you go around. So then I did actually frog the whole thing and then do it again, and then it still didn't line up. So, but again, I might have just had my numbers wrong. Like I think it was Shelley said to me, contact the designer, but I don't like doing that in case it's me. Like I don't like going, oh, your numbers are wrong here. And then they're like, no, it's actually you. So, yeah, that there is a strong possibility that I was incorrect. I don't know. If you work it and then it's wrong, please come and tell me and I will feel vindicated. But also if it's right, come and tell me and then I'll know that I'm just a div. But my arm's still poorly. Yeah, that's it. So that is all my finished objects. I'm sorry there's not many this week. No, there's quite a fair bit. And I've done a fair bit of knitting too. So I've been working on a fair few things over the last couple of weeks. I have had a serious case of whip boredom. Like, oh, I've just been so over everything that I'm knitting. I just haven't had any enjoyment, and as a result I did start to lose my mojo, bizarrely, because I've got a lot to show you. Oh, there's a lot of noise in the house, I'm sorry. So the first thing that I had to work on, which I really wasn't enjoying, and it's because I'd finished them, and once they're finished, that's it. Gone. Go away. But it was Terry's birthday socks. So if you remember, I knitted these for Terry for his birthday on June the 6th. Fine. When he tried them on, I don't know why, because I followed a sock that he wears all the time. A hand knitted sock that he wears all the time. But this section, the leg section, it's almost like a shorty on him. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Now I knitted these listen here. I knitted these cuff down the heel flap and gusset, so extending this bit would be okay, but this bit is obviously a pain. However, that is what I've been knitting. So I've knitted, this one's still attached, hang on. I've knitted 2 extra bits of leg. That's honestly, they are about 4 inches long each. They're exactly the same size. I've knitted them separately because I wanted to make sure they were exactly the same size before I attach them. I'm going to cut off that. See, they look really long now, but they were so short on him. I'm going to cut off that rib and then graft that in. That's basically what I'm going to do. I will record a video while I do it, and you can see whether it's a disaster or not. But yeah, that's basically it. I'm going to do that. So I've been knitting those 2 on separately so I can get them exactly the same length. I still have a fair bit of yarn left. I might try and make Rowan a pair of socks out of it because I just love it, and it's probably not enough to make me. I might be able to make a pair of shorties out of it, maybe. But yeah, that is whip number 1. So it's Terry's vanilla socks, the extension. That is those. Not much to really tell you. The yarn, in case you haven't seen it already, is Regia. I've been told now that this is 4-ply colour, so fadig is colour, and I've also been told that Faber is the colourway and Party is the dye-lot. So hopefully that's focused and you can see what they are. If you can't, the colourway is 03084. It doesn't have a name. If it does, it's not on here. So yeah, I love them. I will definitely get more of that Regia Fadig colour. Fadig, I don't know. I'm very sorry. Oh, and the you're gonna fall off my name. The contrasting colour is my new favourite, which is Yarnsmiths Merino sock. This is in the hint of grey colourway. I've got loads. I love this yarn. I'll be buying loads more. Next, oh, I have another finished object. Forgot about this. So if you remember last time, I had the little hoodie that I'd made for Angie's, my lovely friend Ange, her new grandson Austin. So hello to Ange and hello to Austin. He's probably not watching, but hi anyway. So I gave the hoodie, but he is tiny, and nothing fits him. So I've been making a tiny little hat. Look at that. I made him this out of what was left over from the yarn I used for the hoodie. It's just, what are these called? It's the Tin Can Knits free hat. Bramble? No. Oh, I don't know. I'll put it on the screen. But it's the one that's just got garter in the front and then it's stuck and stitched around the back. It's just a little tiny weenie. Yeah, it literally took me like 4 hours or something. It didn't take long. But it's so cute. So that's going to wing its way to Ange very soon. I forgot I had that. Oh, I also have another finished object. Is the headband that I did for the free headband pattern that I released last week. Look at that, beautiful. Yeah, you too could look like this with my latest video. Yeah, I did this. This is just a turban headband using double stocking stitch or double stockinette, whatever you want to call it. There's a step-by-step tutorial video, which was my last video out last week. Yeah, on my YouTube to make this. This is in DK on 4mm. I used, what did I use? It is here. I used this, which is Kinkle Merino DK in the Sage colourway. This was kindly gifted to me by Kinkle. It is 100% Merino superwash and it's lovely. Whoop, got my ring stuck in it. It's lovely and yeah. So I have that, which is going to come in handy over the colder months, which we seem to just be staying in, so why not? Well, it's not that bad, but it's pretty bad. It's July. The sun is shining, but the wind is going and it keeps raining. So, you know, excellent. Anyway, I'm not going on about weather. I also have 2 new cast-ons because, like I said, I was a bit bored. I have knitted a little bit on my Adventitious. Hang on, I'll show you that quick. Because I know we were talking about it. We were talking about it. It was on my list of whips to try and crack, but seriously, oh my god, it takes forever. I looked a bit manic there, didn't I? Right, so this is how we're looking now. I've got a marker somewhere to say where I was last time you seen me. Oh, there. So we've grew a massive inch. Yeah, it's just, it takes so long. So long. But yeah, I will keep plodding away on that because I really want the top. And I'll probably just over dye the yarn once it's done because I'm not a massive fan of the colour. Unless I put it on and it's like, oh my god, your eyes pop. Then I'll keep it. Otherwise, it's getting dyed black or something. But yeah, it's so slow. Like that inch is literally 2 nights of knitting at around 3 hours a night, so 6 hours knitting an inch. Like that's just not fun, is it? So I think it's going to be one that I just pick up every now and again and finish when I'm a dithering old lady in the home. Anyway, back to fun stuff. I started a granny stripe blanket. You all encouraged me, you all said, you can do it, Kelly. You've done that stupid, horrible, ugly spider. You can do a granny stripe. So I took your word for it and I cast one on. Is it still called casting on when you're crocheting? I don't know. My needles fell out of it. Disaster. At least it's only one stitch. That's a bonus, isn't it? I like that. There it is. Get on there, you. I need to, like, I know that I need to, like, stick a marker in it and stuff. Anyway, granny stripe blanket. Hey! It's huge. Right, so it is long. Like, I can't, it's like, it's single bed width, I reckon. Which is all I kind of wanted to start with. I don't want to, you know, calm down. I'm not doing Super Kings or anything. And I've got 4 colours in, which I think are all truly hooked from this, what's left over. I think it's pretty much that at the minute. Hang on, I think I have a visitor. Yeah, sorry. What was I saying? I don't know. Oh yes, truly hooked. So, because in my bag of minis that is absolutely chock-a-block to the brim. Oops, I have an escapee. The truly hooked ones are like bald because of this. So rather than me faffing and opening mini skeins the other night, it was quite late, so I just did. I just grabbed them. But there is so many colours in here. I mean, it's literally full to there of mini skeins. It's a lot of yarn. So I think it might be a few blankets, not just the one. But I'm just going to try and... I wasn't really thinking about colours. I was just trying to think of what goes with each other and stuff. But yeah. What was I saying? I don't know. So that was right. I looked up on Ravelry for a free granny stripe pattern. Found one that was 4-ply, or fingering, whatever you want to call it. Found one, but then was like, basically she said cast on 217 stitches. So I did, if it's called cast on. Like chain 217 stitches. I don't know, whatever. You know what I mean. And then after that point, I had no idea what the pattern was saying. She might as well have been talking Greek. Like, I'll pop it on the screen because it's a free pattern. I'll pop it on the screen. It just made no sense to me. I was like, what? You want me to do what? So then I went to Attic 24 and I searched, but I only found a DK version. Whether she has a 4-ply version of the granny stripe, I don't know. It doesn't really matter anymore now, but I basically found her DK version, and then with my 217 chain cast on, I worked what she said. I did what she said. So I did like a... hers is also a free pattern, so I'm not giving anything away here. So I cast on in the pink, and then I did like a double crochet row, so single crochet in US terms, and then just started doing the trebles. I have no idea what they're called in US terms. I can't remember, I'm sorry, but it's treble crochet in UK. So then I did them, and then I've just done trebles in between each one. It's okay, my tension, I mean, look, you can see there on that orangey one, like my tension is like to my tension. But like I wasn't expecting it to be like show worthy. Do you know what I mean? I do have a feeling that I'm starting to come in a bit here. Like it's a little bit meh. I could be making a giant triangle, so I need to keep an eye on that and count how many trebles I've done. It was really late at night and I was like, oh, this goes really fast, and just banging in the colours, and then like at the end of the night I was like, I don't know what I'm doing at the end of each row properly, so I might need to recheck that. But yeah, I'm happy, and I will sort that. If it's a bit wonky at the ends, it's a bit wonky at the ends. It's a bleeding blanket. It's not like it has to fit anybody, it just has to make you snug. This side seems alright. So I'm obviously doing something right there, but I'm not doing it right at this end, so I'll have to look at that. But I mean, it could just be because it's pulling in. I don't know. But I'm going to count it and make sure. But yeah, I've started a granny straight blanket. And I honestly thought I'd be like, but I'm not. I'm like, oh, this is really relaxing, like this. So yeah, an exciting cast on, because I haven't had one for a bit. And so much yarn to do it in. I'm doing it on a 4mm hook. Am I telling the truth? Yes. I'm using the Bella Coco one that was gifted to me by lovely Kelly, because I do like these. I did start with this one, which is a prim one that was also gifted to me by Kelly, but I found that the stitches were getting stuck on its neck. Is it called a neck? But I did find that the stitches were getting stuck on there, so I switched to the Bella Coco and it's a lot smoother. So I don't know if that's a thing with the plastic hooks, or I don't know. Is it like where, like, I don't use wooden needles because I find that once they get warm, they're just like, you're not having that stitch, it's mine. And you've got to absolutely, like, so I don't, it's either that or I snap them. So I don't bother, just stick to me metal and I'm happy. But I'm wondering if it's going to be the same for the old hook. Anyway, and finally, the, what's it called? I've got a hiccup. Exploration station. So, as you know, I cast one on, it looked a mess. I showed you, pulled it out, and then I showed you the 4 colours that I was going with next. I cast it on, it looked a mess. I'm going to show you the 4 colours that I cast on. So they're not on a needle anymore. They are a tangled heap because I didn't cut the yarn this time, where I did last time. I was like, nope, I cut the silver, the grey, because you kind of have to. But the rest of it I was like, nope, I'm not cutting the yarn. I'm going to see if this works. So they're all attached. It didn't work. Hang on, where are you coming from? Get off. No, I think it's this. The girls on Discord were saying that it's probably the grey rather than the blue that's the problem. It should have been darker, which it probably should. And maybe that would have fixed the problem. But it's just not me. And I love all the colours separately, but just not together. I didn't like it. So I've just waited to show you guys, and I'm going to pull it out. They were saying use something darker, but I literally had nothing darker that would fit here at all. Like, I had nothing darker. That's my darkest yarn, is that grey. So maybe I should look into buying darker yarns when I go off to the next yarn show or whatever, I don't know. But instead, I did something else. So if you remember, I had, oh, just poked the kitten up the bum with a needle. If you remember, I had a V-back tee that I knitted in like a kind of fade that I'd bought specifically for the V-back tee from Cookston Crafts. I bought it at the first ever yarn show I went to, which was Yorkshire Yarn Fest, and that was in the May 2022. Yeah, 2022. Yeah, then the V-back tee, I knitted it and was like, this is horrible. It just hangs funny. It's got lumps where it shouldn't have lumps. It's just not good. I know a lot of people have knitted that pattern and they're fine with it. I wasn't. I was just like, meh. So it's been sitting in a bag, in this beautiful bag from, now I always get her name wrong because I always say an extra word, so I'm going to look and make sure I get it right. Tea Cake and Make. I always just say Tea Cake Make. This beautiful bag that I have from Tea Cake and Make, who does some beautiful sock patterns. You need to check her out. And also these, because they're amazing. But my V-back tee has been sitting in this bag for all that time, needing to be frogged. So I sat the other day and I was like, right, I'm pulling that out. I need a new cast on. I'm pulling that out. So I did. When as I was pulling it out, I was like, do you know what? I don't really like this as a fade anymore. Like, not so much that my tastes have changed, but just my tastes in fades have changed. I like the colours to be a bit closer together. So I pulled it out and decided I was gonna use it for the Summer Sorrel by Wool and Pine, but I was like, I don't want to do that. I want it as something totally different. So then I thought, Exploration Station. Now if you see my short the other day, you'll see that I did a lazy swatch. Fran from Franny Do had said, just do a lazy swatch with them and pick some colours out your stash. And then Carla from Sew Knit Create Repeat, this is all in my Discord, come and join us. She said, she was like, I think it would go nice with like a green or something. So I pulled a load of stuff out of my stash and took loads of photos, and we were putting them in Discord and people were picking their favourites. And then I did a swatch from the 3 that I liked the most. A lazy swatch. And surprisingly, this green popped out. So it is a Pigment and Ply colour. Oh, look how beautiful that is. If you don't like green, you're going, it's rank, but I think it's beautiful. This is Pigment and Ply's. It's a finger and weight yarn. It's superwash merino 75/25 nylon. That's her label. If you haven't seen Pigment and Ply before, I do love Pigment and Ply. It is called Myrgtabrakke. I don't. It is the dragon from The Witcher. I'll show you. It is in cursive though. I've absolutely no idea how that's pronounced, but it is the dragon from The Witcher. That is what the yarn is. So I have this beautiful green, and then we have this from Cookston Crafts, which is Claire Fraiser, which is a character from Outlander, which I love. I love Outlander. This is also from Outlander, Cookston Crafts. This is Briana's gown. And then finally, these are all in bits, I'm afraid, because of the situation that I was in. We have this one, which I'm not sure what this collection is from at all. This is also Cookston Crafts, and this is called Rubus. So we have the 4 colours. I did a lazy swatch. I put it on the shorts. Most of you voted for swatch number 2. Oh, you need to go in there too. And that was also my favourite, was swatch number 2, which was the green, the dragon. And so this is my Exploration Station. And now I finally love it. I'm like, oh, I'm excited to knit it. I'm excited. I want the next bit in. I want the next section. I just, yeah. Oh, it's so pretty. And I do love, because the Briana's gown has bits of pink, but it's got bits of green in as well. So it's like kind of pulling everything together. And I just, yeah. Very, very happy. You will see that it is not attached to any ball yarn, because you cut practically every time you knit a wedge, and I have many ends already, so I'm going to sit and weave them in, because I'm not getting to the end of this and going and then it sits in the cupboard for 3 years. Looking at you, find your fade. Yeah, you do have to cut a lot, but I'm going to weave them in now. Well, not now, because I'm talking to you. But yeah. But it's going, and I'm really, really happy with it. And that is going to be a Friday night knit as long as I can keep up and yeah. It is knitted on 4mm needles. These are my Knit Pro every time. What are they called? Knit Pro Mindful. Yay! I remembered. The turquoise needle that swivel. I don't even know if you can see. I'm trying to duck behind a needle, but my head is not that small. Anyway, they swivel on the end. Great, but I am finding that they keep coming undone, which is a little bit annoying. I have tightened them and tightened them and tightened them, and they still keep coming undone. But yeah, other than that, that is away with itself. I'm very, very happy. I'm now going to pull that other one out and get them yarns. I now have, I've lost count of how many yarns I've got caked up that I'm going to have to get through because I cannot be bothered to re-skein them. And people say that if they're sitting in a cake, they get all stretched out of shape. I don't know how true that is. I don't know. Probably is true. I'm just in denial because I don't want to re-skein them. So that's it. Is that enough knitting for you? Because that's a lot, isn't it? That is a lot. Oh, life stuff. Life stuff. So, the last few weeks have kind of been a little bit poo. To say the least. Last weekend... oh, hang on, mate. Oh, I still have a kitten asleep on my leg. There you go. Last weekend, Terry went out on his bike on the Friday. So a week today, he went out. He was on his way home. Like, you'll know if you've seen this before. His motorbike has broken down a couple of times. It was a bit of a lemon. But... he thought that he'd finally fixed it, so he'd gone out on it, and then he was on his way home. He was literally 3 miles from home, and it broke down. He rang me and said, I've broke down the side of the road. The battery had basically swollen up into, it was no longer a square. He's really lucky it didn't explode on him. So he rang me and asked me if I could go down and take the spare battery that we had for it and see if like he could get it to start. So I had to drive down there. In the meantime, I could feel that I was starting with a UTI. Joys of menopause. I could feel that coming on, and I was like, yeah. So I was like drinking lots of water, and then I drove down to where he was, parked up, gave him the battery. It was on a really, really busy road, so I had to like park on the road behind him, and so I just hung about, and he was like walking up and down the bank to get between each roads to come to me to go back to the bike. Tried to fix it, couldn't fix it, so we left it. It was not concealed. It was in amongst a load of trees because it's a very green road that we were on, but there was no way or anywhere to actually conceal the bike because of where we were, and it was far too dangerous to be pushing the bike down to get it somewhere concealed. It's a very busy road, and it's a 60-mile-an-hour road, so the cars are coming thick and fast. So we just left it. We went home. Later on in the day, my UTI was getting a bit stronger. I was drinking gallons of water. He asked me to take him back down to the bike to just take some extra tools and just see if he could fix it and get it home. So I dropped him off down there, and I come home, and I was like doing the kids' teas and blah blah blah, and then he rang me and he was like, "This no go, it's not working." So I went and got him again, and then I had to go and pick Caden up from his girlfriend's really late on. I normally have a drink on a Friday night, as most of you know, but I didn't because I was like, this is getting bad. I'm not drinking tonight. I'm not an idiot. I'm just going to drink water. After I'd picked Caden up, I got home about 10 o'clock at night and I just felt horrendous. I was getting shivers and shaking, and then I started throwing up. So Terry ended up phoning 111, which is like an emergency out of hours. It's not so much emergency, it's an out of hours number that you ring in the UK if you need to speak to a doctor, but it's not like a 999 emergency issue. It's just like I need somebody to see me. The weekend is coming and the GPs are all shut, so I need someone to see me, but I need to also, like, I don't need an ambulance. So they booked me an appointment at the hospital for 12:30 in the morning, which was about 2 hours away from there. In the meantime, I was just vomiting and shivering and just, I was a mess. We were only there an hour and he gave me antibiotics and sent me home. That was that. On the Saturday we had family up from Brighton visiting, which we rarely see. We see like maybe once, twice a year. So we were going to see them, but he was going to try and get the bike collected. I was still feeling really rough. I had got a lot better overnight though. I haven't thrown up again. I've had a few shivers, but nothing like I was. Then, so he tried to arrange for the bike to be picked up, but the lad who we know with the van was away for the day, couldn't pick it up that day, so we were going to have to leave it till the Sunday. So we spent time with family and everything and then went home. Sunday came and the lad went down to pick it up and it was gone. It had been stolen. Yeah, so yeah, it's been stolen, it's gone. We have spoke to the police this week and sorted things out with them, sorted things out with the insurance. And yeah, we're just gonna wait and see what happens now. The police have confirmed that there's no CCTV footage where it is. It's like an overgrown section of the road, and it's in between like a car garage. I've got something in my eye, I'm sorry. It's in between like a car garage and then a big castle, which I've showed you a few times on here. It's right in between there, so it's like there is no CCTV or anything there. It's just a country road. It just happens to be a very busy one. But there's no footage of, there's no like crime reported with that number plate. There's no footage of them driving it around anywhere. There's no footage of them putting it in the van. Like there's nothing, because it's broken. They're going to have to fix it or strip it and sell it for parts, which we're assuming that's what they've done, is break it down and sell it for parts. Yeah, so the bike is gone. I've been poorly. I'm a lot better. I'm still on the antibiotics. I've got a couple of days left to go. Yeah, and now Rowan had a really bad cough and his glands are a bit swollen, and then last night he'd gone to bed and he didn't feel too great. He'd gone to bed and then he woke up around midnight and he threw up all over his bed because he'd coughed too much. So it's just been wonderful. So he's off school today and it's his sports day today, so he's missing his sports day, which is quite sad. Yeah, so that's where we're at. It's not been the best couple of weeks, but you know, we have this one still. Oh, you purring. Hear him. He's a beauty, aren't you? He's a beauty. He is very, very loving and just wants to sit on your knee all the time. Apart from when he's biting you, because he wants to play. He's also grown so much and has quite a little pot belly because he eats like nothing else. Don't you? Yeah. Oh, look. Yes, beautiful. So, yeah, he's supposed to be Terry's lap cat, but apparently he's mine. He's very much my little my little buddy. He's with me wherever I go. Yeah, he's quite well behaved, to be fair. He's not a Fion. There's that much I can tell you. No, he's a good boy, aren't you? Yes. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I've got to tell you. I think I will go because I've rabbited for a fair amount of time and I have to go out. So, I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. And, yeah, I've got nothing to ask you this week. No, I do have to apologise to my Patreons. I don't know if I apologised last week or not, I can't remember, but I have been forgetting to put the Patreon, like, thank you to all my Patreons thing on the end of the videos, which is very, very bad of me, and I really apologise. I think I apologised last time, but I'm apologising again because it was poo of me, and it will be there this time again, because it should be there on every single episode. So thank you very much for all my patrons. I really, really appreciate you so much. And yeah, you're just amazing. And I will see you in the next episode for more shenanigans and hopefully a bit more joy, shall we say. Yes. Yes? Joy? Yes. Right. See you next time. Say bye, ducks. Say bye, ducks. Bye. Bye. Who's this? Who's this? Ah, say bye bye. Bye bye. See you later.